Trade winds have blown us right into America's finest city, San Diego, California. From Petco Park tonight, Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. The San Diego Padres in the throes of the wild card race in the National League. Welcome the boys from Northern California. The San Francisco Giants, as Manny Machado turning things around. Well, Padres offense has been a lot better of late. San Diego a game above 500 right now. That's good enough to be in the mix in the NL wild card. The D-backs and the Phillies holding those last two wild card spots. Certainly within striking distance are the Padres right now of those two teams. Alongside Dontrell Willis, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and D-Train, it's that time of year. Trade deadline a few days away, and both of these teams should be active.
You can feel the intensity on both sides. You have one team that's going to be sellers, another team that's going to be buyers, but high-level baseball is still going to be here tonight on this Friday.
Well, there are many teams that are 500 or better around the major leagues that have a negative run differential. The Padres are one of them. They had an inconsistent offense early in the season, although it's been better lately.
But this is a different ball club, and the reason why their superstars are starting to heat up at the right time and force this ball club to be adders. I love what I see from this young man, Tatis Jr. He's covering the baseball. I love that he's in the leadoff role. He hits the ball line to line. He is the fire starter. He finally looks comfortable in that leadoff spot. They're going to need him to continue to stay healthy and just hit that ball. And I think that launch angle is going to get better. But also, my boy from the 305, Manny Machado, he is starting to backspin the baseball. He struggled in the first part of the season, but he's hitting over 300 over the last 20, 30 games. I love that he's backspinning the baseball. But you also see the leadership role come from him. He understands that if we're going to win, it's us two at the top of the lineup. As long as he also stays healthy, I think they have a shot to get into the postseason.
All along, the Padres just needed their top performers to perform. They have. Since June 10th, they've been a much better offense because of Tatis, Machado, Jackson Merrill, and Ty France swinging the bat well, too.
I wish I still had some arrows in this arm. I wish I could pitch for them. They're going to score me some runs and get some wins. As long as they stay healthy, they have a shot.
Well, the Padres are trying to figure out their pitching plans. They'll have a few days to do just that. Against the San Francisco Giants here over the weekend, a team that should be selling at the trade deadline, and one of those guys that could go is the batting leader right now in all of baseball, Luis Arraez.
I mean, you look at that list: Arraez, Robbie Ray. He might have to walk over from locker room to locker room when we talk about the starting pitching rotation needs, but this is a lot of guys that could be valuable to any locker room, and the guy at the bottom of that list, Heliot Ramos, he has a chance to be with. But Arraez, listen, multiple batting titles, Wayne. He has a chance to win another one this year, line to line. You cannot strike him out. I don't care how good your stuff is. He is a guy you can put in any lineup. He is going to be valuable. Also, something I saw this year, he stepped up defensively. He took it personal, worked on his defense to be a better defender, and really just be a complete player. Love what I see from the veteran.
Maybe more like Rod Carew than Tony Gwynn, but at this stage in his career, just like Mr. Padre, a few batting titles under his belt.
You know what? I respect everybody in graphics, but we got to respect that this is Mr. Tony Gwynn's house, but you see the numbers and the comparables, really fun to watch.
And Arraez, a former Padre, and we'll see where he ends up with the trade deadline looming. Robbie Ray, as you mentioned, could also be a very easy trade candidate from San Francisco's side. Well, the Padres are trying to figure out how to get through 9 innings on the mound. Pitching chaos is part of it, and Heidi Watney will break that down in just a moment.
He struck him out. Mason Miller went to work. All down by way of the K.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. Petco Park in San Diego, one of the most beautiful settings in MLB for this NL West matchup between the Padres and Giants. Now, the parallels with these two teams is remarkable, both with talented rosters, expected to contend in the postseason, but both coming up short in the first couple of months of the season. Now, the Giants, well, they dug just too deep of a hole to come out of it, and they have the unenviable task of becoming sellers at Monday's trade deadline. But the Padres, well, their offense has turned it around, and if they can get some pitching reinforcements, they can be a problem come October. The Padres have the 4th highest rotation ERA in MLB. So the plan for now? Well, it's pitching chaos, mixing and matching with openers and bulk innings. Opponents can't exactly game plan for a starter because the plans are fluid based on what's happening on the field. It can work. Hitters have told me it's harder to get into a groove at the plate when facing a different pitcher every at-bat. But in the long term, Padres president of baseball operations, A.J. Preller, is no doubt looking for a starting pitcher or two to stabilize the rotation and hoping that Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove can return and be the solid starting pitchers that they've been in the past. But those two are still a few weeks away from returning, so it's up to tonight's opener, Bradley Rodriguez, German Marquez, and the rest of the Padres pitching staff to get it to arguably the best closer in the game. Yes, Mason Miller. We've got Padres and Giants coming up after this quick break.
MLB app. Yeah, it's got game.
In San Francisco, the San Diego Padres taking on the San Francisco Giants in the first of 4.
And slam by Sheffield, and Gary is knocked in 6. Here we go, McGriff hitting. We've got both dugouts and both bullpens. There's going to be a lot of people out of this ball game.
Petco Park in San Diego officially open for business tonight. Get down, and now the Padres win. The Padres are Western Division champs in 2005.
Jonathan Sanchez has thrown a no-hitter. It's a no-hitter for Tim Lincecum. Tim Lincecum has pitched his second no-hitter. The Giants are champions in the National League West.
National League West rivals, the Giants and the Padres here at beautiful Petco Park. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Born for the track, built for the street. Padres ready to take the field. Their center fielder, Jackson Merrill, standing by with Heidi Watney.
Jackson, you have been red hot at the plate lately. I know you looked at something in your swing a couple weeks ago. What's been the difference for you?
Just being aggressive, swinging at the right pitches, just being aggressive in the box, wanting to do damage every time I'm up there and help the team.
All right, we saw it last night, your boy Fernando Tatis Jr. robbing a home run. Does that kind of defense inspire you to go one-up him?
Yeah, 100%. We're playing a competition out there against each other, but all in all, I'm happy for him, and he covers a lot of ground. He caught that in center field yesterday, so props to him. Thank him.
No, he took your ball. Thanks, Jackson.
Thank you.
Well, Jackson Merrill has been swinging the bat a lot better over the last month or so. The Padres in general have been a better offensive team for the last several weeks, and they feel like it makes them a more viable contender in the National League now that their players are performing at the level they expected.
You know, we've been here a couple of times, and you've seen the offense kind of sputter along, key guys not getting going, but all of a sudden over the last couple of weeks, you could tell they're starting to play at a unified front. Defensively, they're playing better. Offensively, they look more comfortable at the same time. And so I feel like in that locker room, they said, these teams at the top of the National League and these teams that we are chasing have not seen the best Padre team yet, and I think that's inspiring.
They are 55 and 54 on the year, still pretty far back in the National League West, but their sights set on the wild card right now. The Diamondbacks and the Phillies holding those 2 wild card spots. The last 2 spots, we should say, at the moment, Arizona has already won tonight. The Phillies have already lost. And here is Bradley Rodriguez, a hard thrower out of the Padre bullpen. He'll be their opener as, well, pretty much day in and day out. Outside of the days where Michael King and Walker Buehler are pitching, the Padres are just trying to put as many guys out there as they can that can get them through a game.
You know what? Day by day, you have to figure out and really set the guys up for matchup pieces. But if you look at Rodriguez, as far as the stuff that he possesses, a high-level fastball anywhere from 97 to 100 miles an hour. Also has an elite changeup. He's going to be very aggressive, and he understands that he's only going to go 1 inning, maybe 2 in this situation, but he's going to be the tone setter right now in this ball game.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. He'll throw that changeup 43% of the time, playing it off of his 2-seam and 4-seam fastballs. The Car Shield scouting report, it is an opening act for Rodriguez. We are expecting to see German Marquez. Basically, as Craig Stammen puts it, they figure out who's available before the game and then map out a plan from there.
Well, you starts the night before. How many people did he use? How many pitches did they throw? And then all of a sudden you start to work backwards of who feels available. Also important when guys come back to the yard around 3:30, 4 o'clock, how their arms are feeling once they start to warm up and play catch. Then you can formulate a game plan after that opener.
The Padres bullpen should be mostly good to go tonight after their 4-1 defeat yesterday. Luis Arise, the former Padre, takes ball 1, and we are underway. J.P. Sears and Randy Vasquez pitched 8 1/3 of the 9 innings yesterday. Wandy Peralta was used in between and threw 23 pitches for the Padres last night. Arise fouls one back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. A cool breeze of 99 miles an hour from Bradley Rodriguez.
He's going to live there in that zone. Very electric arm, and like I said, he's going to be aggressive with that fastball. And anybody throwing 100 miles an hour should be aggressive within the strike zone.
Rise trying to bunt his way on, pops it foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luis Arise batting .328, the major league's leader in batting average, trying to win his 4th batting title. He's already won a few, and all with different teams. He has bounced around a lot early in his career, still not 30 years old yet, and he's expected to bounce around yet again by Monday night. He serves this one out toward right center field. It's deep. Merrill's trying to chase it down toward the wall, and he does make the catch right in front of the fence in right center. Arise gave it a ride, but Jackson Merrill, a great play.
This is why you signed this young man to a long-term deal. You talk about the intangibles. Excellent jump. He gives himself time to see where the wall is, and that sprint speed. And how did Tatis Jr. even get in that shot? You want to talk about the defensive range they have? Fun to watch.
Jackson Merrill covered over 100 feet to go get that ball in the gap in right center as Arise pounded it. But he's the first out of the game. Now a strike to Elliot Ramos. It's been kind of a down year offensively for Ramos, who's been to an all-star game. Certainly still a lot of promise in Elliot Ramos, but he has not fulfilled it this season as he has to back away from that 99 upstairs.
Gave a little glance to Rodriguez and said, "Whoo, a little bit of chin music." That's not a light breeze. That's 100 miles an hour up in the zone, and a fastball having that tail in action can set up the slider or the changeup away.
That changeup is the go-to pitch for Rodriguez. Threw it there, but missed it upstairs as well. So 2 balls and a strike now on Elliot Ramos. Even Ramos's name has come up in trade targets, basically because he can crush left-handed pitching. Even this season he has still hit lefties well. A few more years of team control, maybe or maybe not the Giants move him at this trade deadline, but there's still a lot more to squeeze out of Elliot Ramos, especially from San Francisco's standpoint. He's a homegrown player.
.312 this year against left-handed pitching.
And strike 3 called. Rodriguez paints 99 and has the first 2 outs here in the first inning. The Giants starting lineup is presented by BetMGM. We'll see Bryce Eldridge right now. We just saw Arise flying out to deep right center. Of course, deep right center is where Rafael Devers will live from time to time, playing first base tonight. Jung-Hoo Lee's had a good year for San Francisco in right field. As we see the big man Eldridge take ball 1. 6'7" rookie who has a ton of potential.
You know what? It's still working its way. They're finding a position for him. Most want him to DH, but I think it's gonna benefit him being on the field as well, especially in that young career. But you want to talk about light tower power, he definitely possesses it.
Now, Tony Vitello, the Giants rookie manager, said he expects Eldridge will be a face of the franchise and a face of the league with the talent that he possesses. Still just 21 years old. Eldridge looks at a strike, and it's 1-2.
Hit 319 the first 33 ball games, 194 the last 34. So once the lesson of the book, and now he's starting to work out those kinks.
There's Tony Vitello as Eldridge is down on strikes. So pretty quick first inning for Rodriguez. We'll see if that gets him another, but he does go 1-2-3 to start it.
With Bet.
The Padres presented by BetMGM with Fernando Tatis leading it off. Manny Machado's at 23 home runs this year. The all-time Padre leader in long balls, playing third and batting third tonight for San Diego against a young left-hander on the mound for the Giants, Carson Whisenhunt, trying to get himself established as a major leaguer. The Giants recently lost Trevor McDonald. He's going to have Tommy John surgery. And here's the first pitch. Tatis rips to the gap in right center. That gets down for a base hit. McRae cuts it off, but Fernando Tatis Jr. stays hot. It's a leadoff double on the first pitch.
Yeah, he was looking to be aggressive, hunting the fastball early in the count. Love seeing this from his swing, because when he's locked in, he shows power not only to the pull side, but to right center with the best of them. A short, easy swing. That front leg, Wayne, landing quietly, very important.
Tatis is aboard, sending one straight to the gap in right center field on the very first pitch thrown by Whisenhunt, who is a changeup specialist out there. Had 15 swings and misses on it. And his last start, but nobody's missing yet for the Padres. Here's Luis Rengifo with a base hit. Tatis goes to third, and on 2 pitches, the Padres have a threat.
You're already seeing the Padre lineup game plan. They're not going to allow Whisenhunt to get to that nasty changeup, so they're hunting that fastball early in the count. This is actually a good pitch down in the zone. Rengifo is knocking the cover off the ball as well.
Rengifo didn't hit anything as a Milwaukee Brewer. He has been picked up by the Padres, and he's hit close to 400 since returning to Southern California, the former Angel. Now it's set up for Manny Machado. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Now the Padres needed Machado to figure things out. He certainly has from his own offensive standpoint. With that, as the Padres have grown here offensively over the last 6 weeks, Machado's been right in the middle of it, a .932 OPS since July 24th. Two balls and no strikes on Machado now. 23 home runs on the season for Manny. He's hit 12 of them just in the last 6 or 7 weeks.
He's made some adjustments as well, really for his sights, is trying to hit the ball back up the box.
Amazing how long into the season that Machado was on the interstate. He's still only hitting .214 overall for the season. It took him a long while just to break through that 200 threshold. And he finally seems to have left that in the rearview mirror. He lines this one toward left. Ramos is in to make the catch. Tatis is tagging. Here comes the throw home. Tatis scores the first run of the game. RBI for Machado on a sac fly. 1-0 Padres.
I knew he had the green light. 3-0. You're looking at Whisenhunt, a young rookie trying to find the strike zone. The game is speeding up on him, so you know he's going to groove a fastball. The only mistake that Machado did is swung a little bit too early, caught that baseball on the end, but still hit a missile.
Tatis and Machado, that's the way it has to be for this Padres team to succeed offensively. Combining for the first run here tonight. Tatis has now led off 4 straight games with a hit. This time he scores a run with Machado driving him home. Padres only managed 1 run in the game last night. Here's Ty France, who's hit a handful of homers since the All-Star break already. Check on Rengifo at first.
Since the All-Star break, Ty France hitting .340 with 13 RBIs, and so you're starting to see this lineup from top to bottom really come to form.
Yeah, at least top through middle things have turned around, and that's all really the Padres need. They have a great bullpen. they're hoping to either get some starting pitching at the trade deadline, although they'll have to get in line. They're not the only team that's looking for starters with the deadline approaching on Monday evening. 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Pacific on Monday, the deadline. And it's 3 balls and no strikes now on France. Padres don't get the 3-0 green light very often. Put the ball in play just 6 times all season on 3-0 counts, and 4 of those times have been Machado. We just saw one. It's 3-0 here on France. He looks at a strike from Wisenhunt, who plays with that changeup. Although he's only throwing 91, 92, I don't know if it's enough fastball to really have that changeup play up the way that he wants to.
Well, he hasn't got a chance to really settle that changeup and land it for a strike to force the hitters to honor that changeup just yet.
Fastballs get him back in the count here, and it's full on France. 3-2 with Rengifo aboard at first base. The Padres cooking up a run to start. That changeup has been hard to hit. It's an effective pitch, and he throws it a lot. Threw over 40% of the time in his last start against the Angels. 3-2 as Rengifo runs, and France fouls one off.
Padres doing the best they can to continue the intensity with the speed and the feel of the ball game thus far, not allowing Wisenhunt to be able to settle in and get to the secondary pitches.
Padres have been swinging early. Wisenhunt's only thrown a dozen pitches, and he's already into his 4th batter and with a full count. First 3 hitters went after him early. France with a big cut. And Tatis and Rengifo, and hits on the very first pitch. Machado at a 3-0 pitch that turned into a sac fly. This is really the first long at bat we've seen.
Now France getting his foot down just a tad early. You see the early clear from the front hip, trying to pull that ball, elevate and celebrate. There's a good chance if you're looking to try to slow him down and try to throw an off speed, but you got to trust it.
France 16 home runs on the season overall. His spurt lately, and he takes ball 4. So Wisenhunt tried to get him to chase on that changeup, and instead walks the man. Statcast powered by Google Cloud as we see Wisenhunt with, again, fastballs that don't have the big velocity numbers, and trying to make that changeup his bread and butter pitch.
Yeah, the 4-seamer will play anywhere from 90 to 93 miles an hour. Very important. He's starting to throw a sinker as well to try to get some more ground balls, but the changeup, as you can see, is his best pitch.
We talked about the need for Wisenhunt with McDonald out, but if Robbie Ray and Tyler Mahle get traded, well, certainly this is an opportunity for Wisenhunt to spread his wings a bit at this level and try to show the Giants that he belongs up here. Strike to Jackson Merrill. For all this season, the Padres have typically struggled against left-handed pitching. Merrill's been hitting everybody lately, but San Diego with the 2nd lowest on-base percentage in the major leagues against lefties this year. Merrill with a fly ball toward left, backs Ramos up and over toward the line, makes the catch. It's the 2nd out. So 2 down, and the batter will be Luis Campusano. Campusano is DHing tonight. Padres have 3 catchers on their roster. Campusano, probably their best offensive catcher. Freddie Fermin is the one behind the plate here this evening. That ball yanked foul by Campusano.
Campusano has big time power. Made his debut in 2020, but only played in 78 big league ball games since.
Drafted by the Padres 9 years ago. Balls and 1 strike on Campusano. Now 0-2 as Wisenhunt gets the swing and a miss on a fastball upstairs.
Let's see how the changeup Wayne set that up, even though it was pulled, speeding up the hitter, trying to follow his swing and really just slow his heart rate down and get settled into the ball game.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. Wisenhunt only his 9th major league start, just his 4th this year. Pretty much has proven himself at AAA. He was the PCL Pitcher of the Year last year. His number is good at AAA again this year. So time to turn the page for him to advance to this level and get that longer runway that we talked about. He's 25 years old now. As Campusano stays alive again. Question is, does he have enough swing and miss stuff to really survive at this level?
Well, with that type of velocity and that changeup, you have to not be afraid to pitch the contact and trust the defense behind you. That's what's going to allow him to be able to navigate the lineup and get to the lineup at least twice with the game intact.
The ball's in 2 strikes. The count on Campusano as he lines one toward left center field. That gets down. That's a base hit. Rengifo comes home. Over to third goes France. Campusano, a 2-strike, 2-out RBI, and 2 runs in the first for the Padres.
But you can't miss there in swing counts, especially when the hitter wants to defend the plate. Look at that. You want that fastball up to get the swing and miss. That fastball is middle down. Execution so critical, not only for veteran pitchers, but young pitchers as well, in those situations where you're 1 pitch away from getting out of that inning and getting your offense back into the dugout.
Justin Message is the pitching coach for the Giants. Out to talk to Wizen on here. A couple of hits on the first 2 pitches of the night. And the Padres have worked him for a couple of runs since then. There's an 0-2 pitch to Campusano, who fouled off a few 0-2 pitches before that.
If you're Wizen, you have to find the side of the plate you can really establish and then go from that sequencing, or you have to start landing that secondary pitch.
Xander Bogaerts weaves in front of that changeup 0-1.
See, that's the pitch. That's the depth change. Excellent out of that arm angle. Now you have options. Either you can double up with that changeup or go with the fastball. If you're Xander, you're trying to hit that ball the other way.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bogaerts really the one Padre that they're relying on that has not turned things around the way that the others have. Still batting 7th in the order. Hitting just .218 on the year. Has not had much power this season. Only 9 homers and only 9 doubles for Bogaerts. Count 2 balls and 1 strike.
Got to the ballpark early, saw him hitting early and just trying to work on the timing and when to load and trying to get on top of that baseball to have more backspin.
Bogaerts pops this one out of play, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wizenhunt now 26 pitches thrown in this first inning. Padres do have their bullpen up. We talked about Bradley Rodriguez maybe only going an inning. Looks like that's the plan. It looks like Yuki Matsui is the one that's up in the Padre bullpen, not German Marquez just yet. Swing and a miss by Bogaerts. And that ends the first, but a couple of early tallies for the Padres. RBIs from Machado and Campusano. And it's 2-0 San Diego. Goodyear. The Ricola weather report. I mean, what are we going to say about it?
When do we not have a nice day in San Diego? I've been seeing you all around town, happy, skipping all through the gas lamp, having a good old time.
Well, who wouldn't have a good time here? 75 degrees. It's perfect. There have only been 4 rainouts in the history of Petco Park.
Ricola.
Rafael Devers leads off the top of the second. New pitcher for the Padres is Yuki Matsui. The first pitch is upstairs. You know, when the Padres do make the playoffs again this year, you know, this is the kind of stuff you see sometimes in the postseason that you don't often see in the regular season. Guys enter in different spots in the game. Matsui's never entered a game this early. It's a swing and a miss against Devers, but we got 2 lefties here in the middle of the order. Devers and Lee, so Matsui comes in to face them after Bradley Rodriguez worked a 1-2-3 first inning.
All about communication and knowing who you have in that matchup.
Swing and a miss by Devers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So what can the comfort level be for the offense, knowing that they might not even see the same pitcher more than once today.
Very difficult, and so I take the advantage, especially if you have high-level stuff, and a lot of those arms that are coming out of the Padre bullpen, they have high velocity and excellent secondary pitches as well.
In the vacuum of today's game, well, you could see why that would favor the Padres, but over the long haul, and even they're not sure how their pitchers will hold up doing this.
Well, you know what? In a situation like that, you've seen it often in the spring training. If one guy is wrong, that's when that game can get out of hand, and all of a sudden now your plan is blown up. And so you really need starters to be able to set that tone. That's why they're so important.
Devers fouls that one back. 1 ball 2 strikes. Devers got robbed of a home run here last night by Fernando Tatis, who also robbed him of a home run last year in late summer.
Have a conversation in the tunnel about that.
1 ball 2 strikes the count here on Devers. Stays alive, fouling off another. It's been a good year for Devers. 22 home runs. He's been among the major league leaders in extra base hits dating back to May 1st. Still a primo hitter any way you slice it after being traded from Boston to San Francisco. His numbers aren't quite as good as they were with the Red Sox. Not that far off.
Well, you heard me say in the manager meeting today, that is a tough ballpark at home to hit in. I don't care if you're right-handed or left-handed. So he's still on pace for his 5th 30-plus home run season.
It's 22 of them overall. 1 ball 2 strikes. As Devers was out in front of that, just taps it to Rengifo at second base. On the way here in the 2nd inning. Devers with the Red Sox last year, traded to the Giants in a somewhat surprising deal in the middle of June. Didn't hit a lot with San Francisco after the deal. He's been better this year. And the Giants, at the end of the day, they didn't win much after they got Devers last year, and they haven't won much this year either. They're 15 games under 500.
Yeah, a lot can go in that record, not only this offensively, but the struggles they've had not only in the rotation depth, but also in the bullpen as well. And so still a valuable piece, and a valuable piece making a lot of money right now up north.
Jung-Hoo Lee hitting over 300 for the year, and that's a story in and of itself. Only 7 batters across baseball hitting 300 or higher. Lee's one of them, 302. He pops this one up on the infield. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop, retires Lee. 2 outs. When you see the Giants and Padres play, you see Bogaerts and Devers together again. For a while, the left side of a very young and talented infield in Boston, when Bogaerts was playing shortstop for the Red Sox and Devers was their 3rd baseman.
You thought that was going to be the future for a very long time, especially if you look at Xander Bogaerts, 2-time champion, and what he meant not only in that locker room but that city of Boston as well.
Well, the future becomes the present pretty quick in this sport. Bogaerts already 33 years old. Well, he's signed forever, seemingly as a Padre, but I don't know if the age signs are already showing or not. Devers will be 30 soon, 29 years old. Here's Willy Adames as he hits one to Bogaerts, who smothers that and straightens up to throw out Adames. 1-2-3 in the 2nd for Yuki Matsui.
Here's a look at our home field advantage presented by Zillow. One of the gems in Major League Baseball, Petco Park opened in 2004. The very first MLB game played was against these NL West rival Giants. Built into the Gaslamp Quarter here in downtown San Diego, the park was built around the old Western Metal Supply Company building, a cornerstone in left field. The Padres won that day in walk-off fashion in the 10th inning. Sean Burroughs had the game-winning hit. It's one of my favorite, guys. What about you two?
Well, a lot of talk about how this ballpark has revitalized downtown San Diego over the last couple of decades. It's amazing that it's as old as it is now, because it still looks brand new when you walk around the concourse here and you see, look out onto the Gallagher Way out there in straightaway center field. It is an incredible place to take in a baseball game, and they've done this place well over the years.
You know, the environment, the people, That's the one thing I love, Wayne. Every time I walk around the ballpark right before the game, I get to talk to people that have been here for 10 years longer. They just have a joy of just having this experience for every single person that walks through the turnstile and wants to enjoy a Padre game.
The statue of Tony Gwynn looms large here as there's a swing and a miss by Freddie Fermin. Strikeout for Carson Whisenhunt, his second of the night. Whisenhunt allowed 2 runs, 3 hits in the first inning.
Excellent slider, tunneling right over that fastball. The depth change the last 10 feet for me, not able to pick up the spin of the baseball. But look at that shot, Wayne. I mean, that's a postcard.
It's the Goodyear drone cam over what could be another sellout here at Petco Park tonight. They've had 42 sellouts this season. And we're talking to Jesse Agler before the game today, the Padres radio announcer, and you'll hear it probably even louder as the years go on here about the long-term contracts for older players. Manny Machado is 34 now. Xander Bogaerts is 33. And Tatis, even though he's not an older player yet, still has a long way to go on a long-term contract, and he'll become an older player under the course of that deal. So you hear talk now, and you'll hear a lot more talk as things go on here about those contracts being bloated toward the back end. But as Jesse Agler put it, well, these contracts, especially when you look at Machado and Tatis, they changed the entire face of this organization. They made this place sell out night after night. They've brought in the best era in the history of Padres baseball in terms of being a competitor every single year for a long period of time. So maybe those contracts are already worth it in the long run.
1,000%. And you know what else it did, Wayne? It had a level of expectation, not only in the locker room, but the organization, but really the city of San Diego. And now that they're the only dance in town, man, the importance is huge.
It's a base hit for Chase Bowen, the number 9 batter for the Padres. As Fernando Tatis stays in, Tatis with a double and a run scored in the first inning. He is one of those long-term deals, 14 years, $340 million. I mean, Merrill won't really age out of a situation where that becomes a contract that you worry about because it's only a 9-year deal, and he was so young when he signed it. But Machado's going to get older in a Padre uniform. He's going to get into his late 30s and early 40s. So will Bogaerts, and Tatis will eventually as well. So will the Padres in some way collapse under the weight of a lot of big contracts, or will it not even matter because of how much the Padres have changed over the course of the years since signing those contracts?
Not if they have a parade. And that's the goal, and that's why you give these type of players this type of money. Yes, they're easy sells, they're good guys, they're fun to watch, they have swagger, but they also put up numbers as well if you see the bottom of that.
Well, I don't think there's any question that if they eventually win a championship with this group, and maybe that's this year, we've seen wild card teams make surprise runs in the postseason before. 2 balls and no strikes on Tatis. If they do win a World Series with this group, well, nobody will really care at any point once these guys start to get old and maybe they're not as good as they used to be. No one will bat an eye. But what if they don't win a championship in that time and the pressure is still on to win one while you have these big contracts that you have to pay off to aging veterans? I think that would be the concern more than the other.
Well, that's the beauty of fandom. That's the beauty of it. You know, there's no guarantee just because you sign these players that they can gel well enough to be able to have that parade at the end. But that's the fun and that's the joy of it every single year in spring training. The hope that these guys can figure it out together and even get a shot, because this season, man, can you imagine if they get back to the World Series? I mean, we're going to have to call a game at the top of the Petco Park sign. There's going to be no room here in San Diego just if they get to the World Series. So it's one of the better environments in all of baseball.
There are a couple World Series trips in franchise history. There's ball 4 to Tatis. So a couple more base runners against Whisenhunt. Padres made it to the National League Championship Series in 2022 and looked like they were about to make that surge in 2024 before the Dodgers came back to knock them out of the division series, and last year eliminated by the Cubs in the wild card round. They're hoping just to be in that wild card round this year. Right now they're on the outside looking in. A could gain a game on the Phillies tonight. Philadelphia now the 3rd wild card holder in the National League. Here's Luis Rengifo swinging and missing on the first pitch slider from Whisenhunt.
The Phillies have enough rotation depth, but do they have enough consistent offense to really get them through the finish line? You look at the Padres situation, it's like the offense is starting to really catch up. Do they have enough arms? Yes, they have one of the best bullpens in all of baseball, but you got to be able to get that baseball to them with a lead or it negates that.
I think things will pick up here over the weekend, that not everyone will wait until Monday to try to plug holes, because some of these holes are obvious. Rengifo swings and misses, and you might run out of time if you don't start to get into it. You don't want to wait until Monday, because then everybody's trying to make deals, everybody's on the phone, and you might not get across the finish line with your deal done that you want to get done. No balls, 2 strikes on Luis Rengifo. Another swing and a miss. So Whisenhunt bounces back for a big strikeout, and there are 2 down in the inning. I mean, you look at the Phillies, they need bats and relievers. Look at the Padres, they need starting pitching. The holes are obvious around for a lot of these teams on what they need, and there aren't that many sellers to choose from.
Well, if you look at the Chicago Cubs, they need rotation depth. You look at the Padres, they need rotation depth. So regardless how you're going to get this player, you're going to have to give up a pretty penny to get that situation and get ahead of the competitor.
Strike 1 to Machado. I mean, how many teams are in the Giants position where it's obvious that they need to sell, and there are players to sell in terms of the Giants with Arise and Robbie Ray and Tyler Mahle and whomever else might be on that list. Machado, it's a bouncing ball to short. Adames gets in front of that and fires to second for the force out. It's 2-0 Padres here at Petco Park.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. Tonight's odds are courtesy of BetMGM. The million-dollar question has been, what will the Padres do at the trade deadline? Odds makers must think they're adding, because San Diego's odds to make the postseason have actually improved since opening day, despite currently sitting just on the outside looking in. Padres could also toe that line of trading from a strength like the bullpen, where Adrian Morejon is on an expiring contract this year, to help bring in a starting pitcher. Guys, what do you think?
Well, the Padres certainly need some starting pitchers, as they're using a reliever here in the 3rd inning. Again, Yuki Matsui is in his 2nd inning of work. Bradley Rodriguez was the opener. The Padres will start Walker Buehler tomorrow, and then Michael King Sunday, and then it's back to this bullpenning as they go along for the next 3 days after that. Strike to Grant McCray, playing center field for the Giants tonight.
Well, some of the guys, the key guys that can get back in the rotation, it seems like if they have no hiccups, and that's a big if, you have to continue to stay healthy on their rehab, their development, and you have to give them time to be able to build back up. But they should all be back late August, early September. But you got to continue to stay in that race, because we know baseball, and if you don't have that consistency offensively or on the mound, we've seen it from multiple teams this year. You can go on a 10-game skid like the Cubs, you can be like the Marlins, and so all of a sudden you fall out of contention. So you're going about it game by game, situation by situation.
1 ball, 2 strikes on McCray. And the Padres are hoping that Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove are both back relatively soon. They're throwing on the same day as one another. They're really in the same exact time frame as far as coming back. They'll begin their rehab assignments together. Swing and a miss by McCray. Matsui with the slider. That's 7 straight set down by the Padres pitchers to start here tonight. 1 out in the 3rd. Let's go down to Heidi.
I spoke to Joe Musgrove before the game. He said that he's going out on rehab next week. He's going to need about 3 rehab starts before he can potentially work his way back into the rotation. So he really optimistically is looking at just a few weeks here. He said Nick Pivetta is on the same timeline as him. He had a lot of setbacks in his return from Tommy John surgery. Hasn't pitched in nearly 2 years, but he said he turned a corner a couple weeks ago, and he is feeling great right now, guys.
They definitely need that straight fastball with that big whooper duper back in that rotation, especially with King, the only one that's really shown consistency to get them through the 6th, 7th inning.
It's going to be a few turns at least for those guys to even get into a spot where they can give the Padres 5 or 6 innings in a game. So, I mean, you're right. They have to stay in contention until then and find a way to make that happen when those guys are probably at least a month out. 1 ball, 1 strike on the number 8 batter in the Giants order. One of their 3 rookie catchers. This is Drew Cavanaugh. Daniel Susak has had a good week with a 2-homer game the other day, and then he went deep last night in the Giants win. But it's Cavanaugh behind the plate here today. Padres want to challenge this for Mean with the ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. It's off the plate.
San Diego has 1 remaining challenge.
So the Padres now with only 1 challenge left. Count 3 balls and 1 strike on Cavanaugh. It's not really a high leverage challenge that you'd like to see from your catcher. Cavanaugh with a fly ball to center field. Jackson Merrill will wait for this. It's 2 up, 2 down here in the 3rd.
Matsui with his timing mechanism, he goes right by his face. The glove tap tells him, I got to get going, and then all of a sudden that's deceptive. A hitter does not like it when you are not looking at him. And so with that arm swing, the first 10 feet, it has life.
It's been a valuable arm for the Padres out of the bullpen coming from Japan. It meant a lot to him to pitch with Yu Darvish, who is still under the Padres employ, although out for the season.
Matsui signed a 5-year, $28 million deal. He's excellent in that bullpen, being able to show the ability to get righties as well as lefties out.
He's gone 2 innings a number of times this year as Christian Koss hits one past the glove of Machado. The Giants have their first base runner of the game. Koss has a 2-out single.
Koss grew up a Giants fan. It's like growing up in SoCal. That's very rare. Down on top of that baseball, that's rare to see a bullet hit past Machado right off the fingertips of that glove. So come on, guys, let's get going.
And San Francisco with their first base runner of the game as Koss gets on. Koss said when he was a kid, orange was his favorite color, so that's why he picked the Giants. Even though he grew up around Riverside, California, and Southern California. There's ball 1 to Luis Arise, who flied to deep center his first time. Arise sent the ball all the way toward the wall in right center, and Jackson Merrill, who's playing over toward left center, covered a lot of ground to go get it. And some kids chose the Marlins because teal was their favorite color.
Absolutely not.
Because the pitcher had a high leg kick.
Now that's tight.
There you go. That's the Miami color scheme.
All the way out here, huh? Well, to see it, he's like, yeah, it matched the outfit. Why not? Match the outfit. But I will say, back in my neighborhood, win the World Series, what have you, didn't see anybody with a Marlins hat until I came home. So it was pretty cool, So always fun to inspire the next generation.
2 balls and a strike on Arise, and now about 6 weeks she'll be in the Marlins Hall of Fame.
And they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but I'm very proud. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but really honored to have great teammates like yourself, man, and all love to God and appreciating everybody that put an arm around your boy. But really surreal moment.
2 balls and a strike on Arise. Arise might be the only 3 or 4-time batting champion in Major League history to not be in anybody's team Hall of Fame because he isn't with the team long enough to do it.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I mean, the work he puts in, the intensity he has, it doesn't matter what uniform he is in. He doesn't give away a bat. He has the ability to adjust pitch by pitch, and when it's all said and done, he's a generational talent.
He's only struck out 20 times all season. Chops this one foul. He has more walks than strikeouts. And he has more extra base hits than strikeouts. He's done that a few times in his career. The last person to do it before him was Jose Ramirez back in 2018. Rise has won a batting title as a Minnesota Twin, as a Marlin, and finished off his batting title 2 years ago as a Padre. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner going, and a swing and a miss. So the rare strikeout for Rise, only his 21st of the year, as Yuki Matsui throws up another 0. Couple of innings out of the bullpen for him.
It is time for a stage manager interview here with Craig Stammen. Pitching chaos, it seems to be working for you guys, but what is the biggest challenge in employing this type of method?
The biggest challenge is everybody's got to pitch good, you know? So you put a lot of pitchers in and you're just banking on them all pitching well, and so far they've done a very good job of that.
The offense has really turned it up over the last month, and that coincides with Manny Machado hitting better. How can one guy have such an impact on the entire team's offense?
Yeah, he's an energy giver. When he's hitting, he gives it to whole team energy, and we just feed off of it, and that's just Manny for us.
Thanks, Craig.
You got it. Thank you.
Just Manny being Manny, and the Padres with a 2-0 lead tonight in the back of a Manny Machado sac fly and a base hit in the first inning by Luis Campusano. And so far, pitching chaos, or whatever they want to call it, has worked. Giants have only had 1 base runner in the first 3 innings.
Well, I love what Craig said. Well, everybody is predicated on them pitching well to be able to go out by out, matchup.
Bouncer to second, Arise fires to second one. Adames to first. They couldn't turn 2 on the speedy Merrill. But there's another example of the much improved defense from Luis Arise at second base.
You know what? We saw it last year with Zach Neto having a relationship with Wash. Luis Arise, Wash on that staff. How do you not, if you're an infielder, how do you not annoy him? You know, I mean, all the people that he's impacted. I remember watching him when I was a little boy in an A's uniform. That's how long he's been around the baseball game. I just don't understand it, but he's always impactful no matter where he's at.
There he is, the infield guru of the Giants, Ron Washington, the former Rangers and Angels manager. Had health problems last year that took him out of that Angels managerial job, but he is glad to be healthy and contributing to this sport again. Tony Vitello relies on a lot of Wash's expertise as well, so more than just your standard infield coach in that regard. 1 ball, no strikes on Luis Campusano. Luis Arise says he feels like Wash is like his grandfather. He's not that much older than Arise, his grandfather.
But he's a man that loves the game, is a lifer, and demands greatness from you on a day-to-day basis. I mean, with this game, for you to be consistent, you have to demand greatness on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't matter if you're calling the games, it doesn't matter if you're a manager, it doesn't matter if you're on the field. Very important to be consistent. And there is not a more consistent coach out there in baseball. That's why he continues to get the position that he's getting than Ron Washington.
1 ball, 1 strike on Campusano. Worked a lot with Freddie Freeman in Atlanta. Marcus Semien became a Gold Glover, he says, in large part because of Wash. Zach Neto had a close relationship with him when Wash was managing the Angels, and now Luis Arise has been kind of the next in line. Wash said it's been a little bit harder to get Willie Adames to commit to the work day in and day out, but Adames has been doing it lately, and he said you could see the improvements. Tony Vitello even said that whenever you see Adames and Wash work one-on-one, for the next 2 or 3 games, Adames is a much better defensive player.
Because it's not always about technique, even though that's very important. It's also about mentality, going out there and being aggressive with the ground balls and knowing where to be, positioning yourself at the right time.
It's 2-2 as Campusano takes ball 3. Wash is the greatest, and it's so good to see him around the ballpark again.
You want to talk about consistent energy. I hear you. I see you, D-Train. I see you. Always has a great story. Always tells it with great passion. I don't care what sport you're in. You need people like that
to continue to just reiterate how hard the game is, but also how fun the game is if you put the work in.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Campusano. Runner going as Campusano just bounces one foul. And the numbers have certainly improved for Luis Arraez. As you see, the sun is not rising, it's setting out there beyond the Pacific Ocean. But
ooh,
you like that? You like that sunset?
I appreciate you giving the copyright to your new little pad over here down there. That looks like Coronado. Living the good life. New jackets and stuff, new watches. I see you.
Hey, you're the guy with Coronado. 3-2, liner to left, and that's a base hit. Runner going on the pitch. Merrill makes his way to third. Campusano has his second hit. The Padres have runners on the corners. 2 singles in the inning against Wisenhunt.
Yeah, just being able to spoil that changeup from Wisenhunt. All of a sudden, he's able to. Once again, they're trying to get that fastball. Just not enough velocity to jam him. And also, when you're not worried about the velocity weighing in the batter's box, it's tougher to get guys to swing over that changeup unless it has depth change.
Here's Bogaerts taking a pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Padres, who have swung the bat very well with runners in scoring position over the last several weeks, trying to turn things around from an offensive standpoint. A chance here to add to their lead as Bogaerts looks at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. From the Giants' perspective right now, you think about the double play with Bogaerts, although he's only hitting to 5 this year. Giants are among the major league leaders in turning 2. Oh, it's a challenge from the catcher Cavanaugh.
Pitch is called a ball. Catcher's challenging.
Looks like they tried to go down and in with that breaking ball, but it backed up. But I think it caught some of that strike zone at the top.
It did. Top end on the edge of the plate.
San Francisco has 2 remaining challenges.
So the Giants win that challenge. 1 ball, 2 strikes, powered by T-Mobile. Giants have the 3rd most double plays turned in the major leagues this year, only behind the 2 Missouri teams, Cardinals and Royals. Bogaerts rolls it to first. Nice pick by Devers out there, and a tag at second base means the run will score. Merrill comes across, and that run counts as the Giants got the out at first. So with that not being a force play at second, the run does come in for the Padres.
And that ground ball forced Devers to be able to tag that base with a nice scoop, but Adames tried to cut that throw off because he knew that Merrill had a chance to score.
Well, they initially said that the run did not count, so now the umpires are going to talk about it, but it was pretty clear that when that tag is applied right there on Campusano, that Merrill had already crossed the plate. So the Giants get the inning-ending double play, but the Padres will get this run. Let's look at it here. So it will be 3-0 San Diego as this timing play will be reviewed. We think it might not even be reviewed. The umpires might just switch it after discussing it. Chris Guccione is the home plate umpire and the crew chief. He also has a microphone, which he has not yet decided to use. We haven't seen anything yet. The Padres are about to take the field, and we believe this run will count on San Diego's side to make it a 3-0 Padre lead at the end of the 3rd.
And from that angle at home plate, it definitely looked bang bang in that sense of you're looking at when Adames applies that tag.
So the run will count, and that ends the inning. 3-0 San Diego. Apple TV here at Petco Park, where the Padres have a 3-0 lead against the Giants. And Fernando Tatis Jr. playing right field, kind enough to join us. Fernando, can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, perfect.
The run did score. San Diego has 3 runs.
Well, they finally just announced that run will score, by the way, on that timing play, that double play to end the last half inning with Jackson Merrill crossing home plate in time to make it 3-0. So now Elliot Ramos leads off the 4th inning against Yuki Matsui. Still out there with German Marquez warming up in the Padre bullpen. Fernando, you guys have swung the bats much better collectively over the last month and a half. What changed after the slow start to the year?
Just a lot of adjustments, man. We have been grinding as a team. It hasn't been easy. We have faced really good pitching, but it's coming around, and everybody's swinging the bat well together, which is huge for us right now.
Fernando D-Train here. Listen, I can tell in that locker room every time we show up that you guys are a close-knit group. How tight are you guys? Because there's a lot of talent and a lot of experience in this locker room as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're all together. We know what it takes our entire team to build up, to go on the long run and stay together. So we know how big it is to have a good chemistry inside the clubhouse, and we haven't taken nothing for granted.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Elliot Ramos. I know the trade deadline is just a few days away. And A.J. Preller is always busy, so what do you expect to come out of this deadline?
Man, we can expect everything. We know how A.J. is, full of surprises, really good surprises. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we get better as a ball club in the long run.
Fernando, does it ever get old playing at Petco? I mean, this environment is not only the best in baseball, but really the best in sports. And I walk around town all day long, and all I see is Machado and Tatis Jr. and what have you. How fun is it to be able to come to this ballpark and expect this crowd every single night?
Man, hands down, is the best atmosphere right now in baseball. Just the weather, the people, the place, everything just comes together, man, and it's a beautiful sight to see. Never gets old.
Ramos held up there. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Well, last year you guys made a big splash at the deadline. You got Mason Miller. What is the reaction in the clubhouse when you get a guy that you know is going to be a big boost?
Man, everybody's just happy, especially when we got Mason. We know how good it is, and it's impressive. There's playing defense behind him. Sometimes, shouldn't say that, but sometimes I put my glove in my right arm when he's pitching. That's how confidence we feel when he's out there and when he's facing anybody.
Fernando, you have a kind of a competition going on with Jackson Merrill with the outfield defense there. He just made a great catch. Who's winning the competition?
I feel like he's doing better than me this year. He got way more home runs, robberies. He have done some crazy plays, and man, really happy to see how he evolved in center field, and just a great player all the way around, especially a great human being.
Now, I have to put you on the spot. Who has more swag, you or Manny? Because every time I show up here, he has a different set of cleats on his. So I would be all in his locker. He has so many cleats, he wouldn't miss a couple pairs from D-Train.
Oh, man, I mean, Manny has all the type of J's out there, The combination, he go crazy. He definitely go crazy, and it's really fun to see what type of cleats he's wearing any different type of day. I'm a Yuki.
2 balls and 1 strike on Eldridge, who struck out his first time. We're looking at those neon green cleats that Manny Machado's got, the green sleeves.
Not anybody can pull those off.
If that's not Miami, I don't know what is.
Get that bogey. Yeah. It's up.
Nice play by Xander Bogaerts, the sliding pick and a perfect throw. Tony Gwynn Jr. is hanging a star on that one.
You guys take pride in going to get the baseball. It just feels like that. Most teams are offensive oriented, but you guys have gold sprinkled all over the field. You guys really take pride in going to be one of the better defensive teams in all of baseball.
Yeah, we know how important defense is. Hitting is gonna have its up and downs, but we take a lot of pride playing defense because that's something we can definitely could take care of every single day basis.
Well, how about the play you made on this guy last night? Devers, you robbed him for a second straight year of a home run.
Oh, man, that was crazy. That was a great play. I feel bad for him. He's my boy. You know, we come from the same country, but when we're in between the lines, man, we got to give everything that we have.
Now, you've seen me pitch 30 years ago. Now, I faced your father as a young rookie in spring training. What do you think if we had 4 bats in the game in Petco Park? What would your numbers be against me?
Put him in the spot right now. I don't know. I'll probably hit a chopper out to the right side of the field, get my base hit, and then you can get your other 3 outs.
I appreciate that. I'll send a check later. I appreciate it. You don't need the money, but I'll send a check later. I appreciate that.
This is the catch last night, the home run robbery. What are your thoughts as you approach the wall and you're about to go up? What are you thinking in that moment?
Man, yeah, you got to read the wall, have a good timing with the ball also. So everything is come in play, decel, so it's a good combination of just being an athlete, you know, and just reading the ball, and then when you're going to hit the wall, you just got to pray, don't hit it that hard.
Yeah, I've done that once or twice. Get caught the heel of the mound, and especially your land leg, very important for Matsui. He says he's fine.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Devers. How have you guys taken as a group to your new manager this year, Craig Stammen, coming down from the front office to be in the dugout?
Sorry, say that again. I kind of lost you right there.
How have you taken to having Craig as your manager this year, his first year as a manager?
It was kind of weird at the beginning because obviously we played together. But now, I mean, we put everything aside and, you know, we took the role that he's our manager. And if, you know, if we want to go on a long run over here, obviously we got to respect him and follow everything that he's putting out there for us. And obviously he always wants the best for us. He's always encouraged us. So, you know, it's been great so far, and you know, we keep building now that relationship as managers and players every single day. Sure.
The one thing I love about your game is sometimes you can play in the infield, sometimes you can play in the outfield. I mean, is that just pure athleticism, this being a baseball player?
Yeah, definitely being a baseball player. I mean, my dad did it back in the time, so, you know, when I was kind of growing up, 15, 14, 16 years old, even older when I was playing winter ball, we kind of practiced kind of everywhere just to have the feel, just in case. You never know this game, what it can bring you. And, you know, I'm really glad that we practiced all that stuff, and now I can bring all those extra factor to the team.
Ooh. He was swinging at that one. He wasn't going to let you try to rob that one. Who are some of the guys that you are fans of across the league that you respect their game when you're on the diamond?
Oh, that's a very long list. I feel like right now we have so many really good quality players in the league that we took it to another level in different ways, just taking care of the body, you know, managing yourself just to get better. So, I mean, just on the other side right now, Authorized is a big example. You know, just the type of person he is, but how he developed his game to becoming the best pure hitter out there, hitting for average is really impressive. We play together. I love playing with him. So, you know, I wish him nothing but the best. And, man, the league is full of really good, nice people right now, especially even better players. I got this. Kind of lost it.
All right. We were hoping you were going to catch that one.
Me too.
Fernando Tatis Jr., thank you very much.
All right, guys.
time for a Sage Manager interview here with Tony Vitello. The Padres were aggressive with Carson Whisenhunt early on. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, I mean, his changeup is his biggest weapon, and probably needed to mix a little bit earlier on, but you got to give credit to the Padres. Like you said, they came out and tried to bum rush him a little bit, and it's not just that approach. You got to execute it, and they did a good job of putting the bat on the ball.
This is going to be a tough weekend, really, for your team entirely, but this is your first trade deadline. What's the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, it's unique, but I think you always got, I always say dry erase board, and you got the field. One is a little bit more business orientated, and then the other one, no matter what's going on behind the scenes or in offices, this is the place to compete. So I think you just have to separate the two, and these guys have been pros longer than I have. I think the guys I've been around that are probably names that are being talked about, they've been nothing but professional, and if anything, they've ramped up the effort because we're trying to put together a good second half or after the All-Star break set of games, and right now they've been pulling for each other. We'll see what happens with the dry erase board.
Have something to build on for the future. Thank you, Tony.
Yes, thank you.
Well, everything's a new experience for Tony Vitello right now. It's his first trade deadline, first big league season, first season in pro ball as the manager. It's a big ask to bring in Tony Vitello without any experience at any professional baseball level, coming straight from college baseball. I think he handles himself well. I think if he started in the regular professional ranks a few years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, he probably would have ended up being a big league manager anyway. It just was a different route to get there, as Tony Vitello takes over a Giants team that has just not performed very well this year. 2 balls and a strike on Bowen. You know, how much of that is his fault? How much of that is the players? How much of that is the guy who put the team together, a team icon in Buster Posey?
I think it's a collective, but I love that what Tony said. You know, he takes responsibility of things that he knows he can control.
Here's a fly ball to left field. This is hit well. Chase Bowen sends it back and gone. That's up into the third deck of the Western Metal Supply building as Chase Bowen hits his first major league home run.
I'll tell you what, I like that dismount of that bat flip. He knew it was gone. Stared into his home dugout for about 5 to 6 steps. Got those guys fired up.
As Ted Leitner used to say, that ball was crushed. First big league homer for Bowen, who had 86 homers over the years in the minor leagues.
Okay, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Well, that Craig Stammen said, that's awesome, man. Congrats. And no better memory as a big leaguer to hit your first home run. It wasn't a cheapie either. He got him.
About halfway up that Western Metal Supply building in left field.
Went to Machado land.
2 balls and a strike on Tatis. And up around where it says Big Bully Turf right there is where that ball landed. Chase Bowen was a big bully to that baseball.
3-1.
From the Pirates organization. This is his first year with the Padres. Spending a lot of time in the minor leagues over the years, and in AAA El Paso for a lot of this year. As Tatis couldn't hold his swing there, and it's 3-2.
Whisenhunt, excellent changeup. 3-1 count. Tatis looking for that fastball middle in.
Whisenhunt's given up a lot of homers at the big league level now. 9 of these 10 have come against right-handers. Here's Tatis trying to add his name to the list. He hit it even further, but foul. To straighten that out, he might have hit it to the roof of the Western Metal Supply building.
Yeah, this got a little bit out in front of that changeup.
Padres up 4 now.
Ball 4.
And there's ball 4 to Tatis. 3rd time he's been on base.
Yeah, that's a cement mixer down in the zone, and you see that bat flip, and to let everybody know, I got him, coach. I'm looking for that baseball down in the zone, and those fans weren't expect to get a souvenir.
They look like Manny flipping the bat.
I'm trying to tell you, man. people know. And you see all the smiles and the laughs. They're going to talk about that after the game for sure.
Yeah, you hit one up there. You can act like Manny.
Listen, I'm not even mad. Huh?
Well, he didn't hit it off you.
Hey, listen, I've given up some mammoths, though. I can't be angry. We're going to talk about that in the tunnel, but can't be mad at that at all.
2 balls, no strikes on Rengifo. The base hit and a run scored in the first inning. Padres with 2 in the first. Got that run home in the third when Merrill crossed the plate. An tag play at second base. Now a run here in the fourth inning on the first big league home run by Jace Bowen. Oh.
It doesn't have the sequencing, the command that he wants to have as far as getting ahead and trying to get to that changeup.
Ball 4, so Rengifo doesn't walk that much.
Yeah, it's a good time for a little mound visit. Because once again, a lot like the first inning, this game is starting to speed up on the young man once again.
Giants are on the phone. Adrian Hauser, the veteran, is up in the bullpen. Hauser sort of piggybacked Whisenhunt the last time Whisenhunt pitched against the Angels last Sunday. And Tony Vitello is on his way to the mound, so that looks like the end for Whisenhunt. And it will be Hauser with a couple of base runners here in the fourth. 4-0 Padres at Petco Park. Tony Vitello has not yet pointed to the bullpen, but he's telling the umpire right now that he is going to point to the bullpen. Well, I told you. Zooms after the summer break, August 23rd in the Netherlands. Kimi Antonelli leading Lewis Hamilton. Just 50 points for the Drivers' Championship. Don't miss a moment of the Formula One season. From lights out to the checkered flag, watch every Grand Prix live on Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One. 50-point lead sounds like a lot to me. I guess in F1 it's not. Carson Whisenhunt gave up 7 hits tonight, walked 4 hitters, allowed a home run. Frankly, he's lucky only 4 runs are on the board.
Fastball command just was not there to be able to have the ability to get ahead, to get to that secondary pitch, and felt like the Padres had an excellent game plan to really make that plate small. And I've had starts like that, Wayne, where all of a sudden I feel like I can't miss over the heart of the plate, and all of a sudden I'm in hitter-friendly counts where it's 2-0, 3-1, and I don't care how good your stuff is. Very difficult to get outs in the big leagues like that.
If you're playing the Price is Right game, that game with the wheel, and you had these 2 pitchers, you'd get the dollar, though. 88 Whisenhunt and 12 Hauser.
Here all week, folks. I actually like that game, though.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't like the Price is Right?
I love that game. How much is the washer?
Manny Machado is the first man to face Adrian Hauser tonight. It's the same thing that happened after Whisenhunt's last outing. Hauser came in. He pitched well out of the Giants bullpen. And the Giants lost anyway to the Angels last Sunday afternoon in San Francisco. And they trailed tonight. It's 4-0 San Diego. A lot of base runners for Whisenhunt in his 3 1/3 innings. Only 1 strikeout. Actually, Whisenhunt with 3 strikeouts in the game with 4 walks. Machado floats one to right. It's Lee coming in. And he makes that catch.
Hauser's definitely going to use that sinker. He has the ability to throw that pitch on both sides of the plate. Threw one inner half to Manny, and then all of a sudden tried to front door the sinker, and Manny just caught it out in front, and that's why he had the little fly ball to right. But Hauser's not afraid, no matter what uniform he's in, to throw that sinker and induce the ground balls.
Now, Hauser got a contract from the Giants in the offseason, 2 years, $22 million to fill out their starting rotation, and then he didn't pitch well as a starter this year. Hauser kind of a journeyman, but he had a couple of really good months with the White Sox last year. He got traded to the Rays. He didn't pitch that well, but still the overall numbers look good because of his time early in the first half. And the Giants kind of bought in, gave him a 2-year deal, but he had a 5.73 ERA in 14 starts. It's a double steal try, throw to third, and everybody safe. Tatis swipes third, Rengifo at second.
Tatis, excellent job being able to steal that base off the pitcher. As soon as Hauser locked his head to home plate, that was the indicator to start getting his momentum to third base.
Stolen base number 26 for Tatis. For Rengifo, it's his 5th, his 2nd as a Padre. San Diego, one of the most aggressive base stealing teams in the major leagues. Was Tatis a big part of that? The Marlins and the Nationals have more steals as a team than the Padres. 26 overall for Tatis. He has stolen third base 3 times on the year. Now base hit could bring in 2 more for San Diego. It's France with a single and a walk today. He lines one toward left center. McRae is over. He can't reach it. Base hit. Tatis is in, so is Rengifo. The double steal pays off. Turns into a 2-run hit for Ty France and a 6-0 lead for the Padres.
Yeah, excellent job by Ty France working that count. And hear me said it all game long. The Padres hitters have done an excellent job getting themselves hitter-friendly counts. 3-1 count, you're looking middle. This is a sinker that Hauser's trying to throw outer half, get France to roll over, but France's sights stay in center field. If he tries to pull that baseball, more often than not, you're going to roll that over to the left side. Nice piece of hitting.
Those runs go on to Wisenhunt's ledger, and they make it a 6-run, 7-hit, 4-walk night for the Giants' young starter. His book is closed after 3 1/3 innings. Padres now have hit .294 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position in the month of July. Well, they still have not really gotten going in terms of the record. They had won 5 in a row until their loss yesterday. Still, for the month of July, they need to win tonight to avoid a losing month. Big swing by Merrill. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, a lot of that, Wade, is just the lack of depth in that rotation. So far so good that the opener has worked because the offense has really set the tone and really allowed Craig Stammen to deploy the right guys because they had a lead early, but that's not always the case, especially to the upper echelon ball clubs of the National League where you're going up against some of that front line pitching. So when runs come to a premium. So gotta win the ball games. You gotta win, obviously, but this offense needs to continue to roll. They want to go up against the Brewers and dodging the Cubs.
There's a fly ball to left center. This time McRae gets there to end the inning. 2-run hit for Ty France, followed the first big league home run for Jace Bowen. And the Padres start to kick it open. 6-0 they lead after 4 at beautiful Petco Park.
Welcome back. I'm Sierra Santos with a studio update out of Baltimore. Tie game between the Phils and O's in the bottom of the 7th. Gunnar Henderson, he triples. It drives in 2 runs. Phillies lose 6-4. Their lead for the 3rd wildcard spot is down to 1.5 games. Wayne, D-Train, let's go back to you guys.
All right, Sierra, thank you very much. That's good news for the Padres. A Phillies loss tonight. The Orioles winning that game, and they're somewhat in the mix too in the AL wildcard race. But Ken Rosenthal reporting that the Orioles have traded Dean Kramer to the Minnesota Twins. 6-0 San Diego has the lead here. In the 5th inning, it's a sliding stop by Rengifo to retire Jung-Hoo Lee. 1 out.
Nice play by Rengifo to be able to go to his right. Lee can't get up the line, so he knew he had to pop up and really fire a strike. But this is all about this timing and getting that jump. Sticks that left leg. Pushes himself to the right, gets down early. Love high-level defense.
Strike to Willie Adames.
No, Wayne, it's getting real. Oh, yeah, we're going to be waking up and phone alerts in the middle of the night. This is where GMs make their money.
Now, the Twins have made a couple of deals already, although somewhat mid-level deals, getting A.J. Minter from the Mets and Dean Kramer from Baltimore, just trying to fortify their roster for a potential push in the wild card and the AL Central races, such as they are. Well, 2 balls and a strike. I mean, in the American League, it's wide open.
Everybody come on in. Highest bidder.
Trade deadline Monday afternoon Pacific time, 3 o'clock. German Marquez in the game now for San Diego. We were told he would be the bulk inning pitcher today. The 6-0 lead. Marquez enters. You know, every pitcher wishes they could enter their game like this.
This is good living. And I understand the adjustment, especially for Marquez. He has a 7 ERA and 5 starts in Petco. This is a 3.24 ERA on the road.
Thomas rolls one over. That's a fair ball. Machado plays it all the way through for the out.
I mean, can we just talk about how casual Manny was with that play? I mean, we know he got gold sprinkled over there, but my goodness. I mean, it almost like he played that like that ball was foul. And the arm strength and the throw across the diamond, there's not too many humans that can do this as far as the transfer on the run. Meanwhile, Adames is running like it's the playoff base hit in the ninth. You know, and play after play, year after year, you see Manny Machado remind us that he's one of the best defenders in his generation.
I thought the same thing, that it looked like he thought it was foul, but he still played it just in case it wasn't, which it was not. And it's an out. Giants have only had 1 base runner so far. It was a base hit by Koss with 2 outs in the 3rd. Padres were behind yesterday. They used kind of a combination of J.P. Sears and Randy Vasquez last night. Tonight, Bradley Rodriguez was the opening pitcher, worked a perfect first, and then Yuki Matsui with the first 3-inning performance of his major league career. Only allowed 1 man to reach, and now Marquez has retired the first 2. Soft line drive to right center. In comes Tatis to grab that, and it's all Padres here tonight. 6-0 they lead halfway through. Welcome back. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. With D-Train, Dontrell Willis, and Heidi Watney, I'm Wayne Randazzo. We're at Petco Park here in downtown San Diego, where the Padres cooked up a 6-0 lead against the Giants. San Diego trying to even this series, had their 5-game winning streak snapped by San Francisco last night. They have been in charge tonight. Luis Campusano has 2 hits in this game. Padres have 8 overall. Tatis and Rengifo have 2 runs scored apiece at the top of the order. Jace Bowen has his first major league home run tonight. 2 RBIs for Ty France in this game as well.
Seeing the offensive capabilities of this whole lineup today, I thought the game plan was absolutely excellent. You're just seeing how they can wreak havoc.
There's another hit for Campusano. He's 3 for 3.
Quality of bat for him. Every single time he comes up here, he fouls off, spoils tough pitches, gets himself that a pitch that he can handle, doesn't overswing. Throws that bat head right where he needs to. It's all about the knob. Keep the line moving.
Second time this year Campusano's had 3 hits in a game. Bogart's tapping 1 foul. Talked about the deal the Giants gave Adrian Hauser in the offseason. 2 years, $22 million. Kind of similar to the contract they gave Harrison Bader. 2 years and $20 million. And Bader has barely played this year. He's been battling plantar fasciitis. Apparently, he also battled a scooter and a fire truck the other day, and has caused more injury to his foot, so much so in doing so while scootering around town, that the Giants have decided to suspend Bader's payment on his contract until they investigate further into that incident.
Yeah, that's kind of the sign of the season for the San Francisco Giants. You know, that's unfortunate, but that's the business of it. If you can't perform, not obligated to pay you.
We're already nursing a foot injury and behaving in a somewhat reckless way. At least that's how it's been reported. So the Giants have taken it upon themselves to say Bader has breached his contract in that regard. It's a quick throw to first. A good play by Christian Koss to retire Bogarts. One out with Campusano at second base. But more than anything, as you said, it just kind of a further cause of embarrassment for the Giants this season in what's been a rough year.
Well, I asked Tony Vitello, like, did you understand the expectations, not only this in Bay Area sports, but what the Giants are in San Francisco? You know, he said absolutely, and I figured that out, especially after getting swept by the Yankees, and that's a tough draw, you know, your first matchup.
Slapped the other way, a base hit for Freddie Fermin. Campusano's being waved home, and he goes back to third as Jung-Hoo Lee shows off his excellent arm. So the Padres have him on the corners now. 2 hits from their 2 catchers in the lineup in this inning. Bob Henley looked a little worried that Campusano was going to run through the stop sign.
It took him longer than he liked, especially to be able to round third base, and you don't want to have a play or a collision at the plate, especially knowing Lee's speed and arm strength, and he got that ball out quickly. We don't even need the chances, especially the way we're covering the baseball right now. You don't want somebody to have a play at the plate and have a chance to get injured.
Jace Bowen with his first major league home run in his last at bat. Headed about halfway up the Western Metal Supply building and gave a pretty good Manny Machado impression as he made his way toward first.
He's feeling good. He's not wasting no time, and hunted that first fastball from Hauser as well.
Good guy to impersonate if you're on a baseball field. He had his first major league hit about a month ago. Now the ball from his first major league hit ended up at his dad's barber shop. I don't know if he's going to get back the ball from his first major league home run. I'm sure somebody from the Padres side will try to get it back to Toledo, Ohio,
where the Mud Hens play. Another nice pass. Seeming to have Hauser's velocity down.
That is a called third strike, so Bowen is down for the second out of the inning. Our Adobe standout score, and see if they can display this one at Ryan and Tony's barbershop in Millbury, Ohio.
Oh, they definitely talking about that. They have us on Apple TV right now. They kept the shot open late just to see him get his foot down and hit one to the people. You know, they was hyped up in the chairs. Even cream flying everywhere. They was juiced.
Well, they got the first big league hit is there, so now they need the home run ball.
You need the bat.
And the bat.
You need the bat. Frame it up. Come on now, Weezy. Tighten up. I got you a Sammy jersey. I know it's somewhere. Tighten up.
No balls and a strike on Tatis. Well, you just never forget, I think.
You know what? Uncle D-Train just has ways of saying he loves you. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tatis. Slow bouncer toward third. Koss plays it in quickly toward first, and he gets Tatis by a step to end the inning. So the The Giants get a car, the Padres get a couple of base runners, but don't add on to their 6-0 lead. They've got our pitching decisions presented by Sage. This is Mason Miller earlier in the week. Striking dudes out.
Yeah, I got a chance to see him firsthand in the Oakland A's uniform, and he is not disappointed in the San Diego Padres uniform. You see the high velocity, the late movement, and then when he feels like you have a gauge on the velocity, drops down a 91, 92 mile an hour slider, which is harder than my fastball.
Go back to last year at the trade deadline. If you count the playoffs as well against the Cubs, Miller has struck out 52% of the batters he has faced in a Padres uniform.
I mean, being able to command that fastball on both sides of the plate, Wayne. That's the one thing. He lives on the edges as well, so it's not this brute force.
Drew Cavanaugh leads off here in the 6th inning against German Marquez. It's been a collective pitching effort for the Padres to allow just 1 hit in the first 5 innings today. Yuki Matsui did most of it, pitching in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's a fly ball to left toward the line. There's Jace Bowen in fair ground for the first out. Mason Miller acquired by the Padres 1 year ago today, and what he has done this season could put him on this list of the highest single season strikeout rates in Major League history. All nasty closers on there, all guys who have had all-star seasons, and Miller right now would be 5th on that list.
Aroldis Chapman was my throwing partner every day in spring training. I prayed for my children at 9:30 every morning to try to catch him. But you look at velocity, you look at that list, velocity, but also elite secondary stuff.
Toss, it's a chopper to third base. Manny Machado with the backhand and throw to first. 2 up, 2 down. Well, what Miller has done this season, really this entire time, he has a 0.78 ERA as a Padre. This is a full year now.
You're talking in the beginning of the season. I mean, the question was, is he going to give up a run? I mean, that first 2 months, he was untouchable.
Striking out hitters really 2 at a time every time he was out there. Luis Arraez takes a strike. Arraez struck out his last time. Only the 21st punch out this season for Luis Arraez. And he takes it as a personal affront. When he strikes out, it is few and far between for this current Giant, signed on a 1-year deal and will certainly be dangled around as the trade deadline approaches.
He's definitely a guy that's somebody in the lineup. If you have an ace opposing him, he can still drive up that pitch count and also get a base hit, obviously, but that's also a weapon to be able to get team starters out of the game as quickly as possible, because everybody doesn't have a talented bullpen, and if you can shorten that ball game to opposing starter, that's a true weapon as well.
Trying to win his 4th batting title. Of course, if he gets traded out of the National League, well, it's possible that he will not win the batting title then in the National League this year. Would be kind of taken out of that. He's the first player ever to win a batting title with 3 different teams. And that'll help things out as he smacks a base hit up the middle. So another hit for Arraez. It's the 2nd hit for San Francisco in this game.
Yeah, you know what that is, Wayne? That's taking it personal that he struck out the bat before.
See, players win batting titles in both leagues. I mean, LeMahieu did it in the COVID years, so I don't even know if you should count that. Ed Delahanty in 1899 and 1902. What else should you? The 60 games.
Don't hate on that, man. It counts. It's part of history.
It was part of history. I'll put the asterisk on it if you don't want to.
Terrible.
Ball 1, Elliott.
If he was a Cubby, you would have liked it.
He was at one point.
But I get it. But truly remarkable year after year, and for him to continue to elevate his game in the Giants uniform, you see why he's a hot commodity in trade.
He didn't win the batting title last year when he was at the Padres, and he fell short of a 4th straight batting title. Only a handful of players have ever won 4 in a row, and they're the ultimate who's who. Honus Wagner, Ty Cobb, Rogers Hornsby, Rod Carew, Wade Boggs, and Tony Gwynn.
Wow.
Arraez almost joined that list last year, but he does have a chance to win his 4th in 5 years this year.
Obviously, we have Junior next to us in the booth, and he's a good, close, dear friend of mine. And every time I see him, I say, just tell me another story about your dad. And, you know, he sounds just like Senior, you know what I mean? And so he just talks to me about it. And I actually got a chance to play against the first time I met Junior in the area code games. But to be compared to the Tony Gwynns, the Way Boggs, the guys that are pride themselves at, you know, generation talent, it's truly remarkable.
One of the worst things about the '94 strike, of course, losing the playoffs and World Series, was the absolute worst of it all. But Tony Gwynn had a real shot at hitting 400 that year. Finished the season, as the season just ended because of the strike, with his average of .394. It was middle of August. I mean, that run to the potential of 400 would have been fun to watch over the last 7 weeks of that season.
You know, when you start to, and this is the one thing I love about, and I have such great respect for you, when you start to talk about this, the numbers, and you peel back the numbers, it's truly impressive to do that.
Manny Machado throws out Elliot Ramos. It's been a good night for Tony Gwynn's Padres here in San Diego. 6-0 over the Giants. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. Official jerseys and memorabilia, hats and hoodies. We have the season covered. Scan the QR code or visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. Tony Gwynn, the ultimate San Diego Padre, one of the class acts in the history of the game. And his number, his likeness, his name, his statue, they're everywhere around this ballpark, as it should be.
Deservingly so. We talk so much about accolades, but the human was just important. And getting a chance to talk baseball with him, his calming voice, what he meant to this city, this organization, and truly one of the legends of the game.
As you said, this fan base still gets to hear kind of his voice through the voice of his son, Tony Jr. There's the statue of Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn, but Tony Gwynn Jr. does a great job on Padres radio with Jesse Agler. And
you know the one thing I love to hear about stats about Tony Gwynn is the numbers that he put up against the Hall of Famers in his era. You know, you look at some of those numbers, and more base hits, more walks than strikeouts against some of the greats in that era.
His numbers against the Hall of Famers, the best of that era, ridiculous. He walked more than 350 times than he struck out in his career. It was over 3,000 hits. As Renifo walks again, that's twice tonight. Leadoff man on for the Padres, Manny Machado, is the all-time Padres leader in home runs. For more on him, here's Heidi.
Yes, he is, but he had a rough start to the season. In fact, he had the lowest batting average of any MLB hitter over the first 2 months of the season. He's turned it around to a tune of a .972 OPS since June 9th. It's coincided with him opening his stance a bit, but not over-rotating his hips and his load. Manny told me.
There's a fly ball, right center field. Manny Machado trying to unload as he one-ups the wall in right center. Renifo is held at third as the Giants got it in quickly. Machado just missed another homer. He doubles off the wall.
Yeah, Manny told me that he is a field guy. He relies on that fluid swing that you just saw. It took him a while to get where he's at, but he said he is comfortable and clearly locked in, guys.
Yeah, he crushed that one.
Pulling the hands inside the baseball. That's how you generate power to the opposite field. A lot like Tatis Jr. When they're locked in like that, there's no spot on the plate that you really consistently can get them out at.
Stuck that one out to the gap in right center. The Padres now with runners on second and third, nobody out. Already a comfortable lead. They can really bust it open with a few more runs here. As Ty France, who knocked in 2 in the 4th inning, has a chance to drive in 2 more. Good year for France, all told. The Giants have their infield, and it's ball 1 to France. He's been red hot lately. 16 home runs now for France on the year. It's his most since he hit 20 4 years ago. He'll add another RBI right here as Renifo tags and heads home. McRae's throw kind of between third and home as Renifo scampers across. RBI for France, his third tonight. It's 7-0 the Giants behind here.
Talk about lineup protection. Ty France has done an excellent job. Rarely chases out the zone, doesn't mind taking a pitch, doesn't mind getting hit by a pitch. You know his career in that. And now is showing power and consistency in that lineup to protect Manny Machado.
Another run batted in since the All-Star break. That's 16 now for France since the break, and 3 in this game. Here's Jackson Merrill, who has a run scored tonight. Merrill showing the importance of hustling all the way through, and he scored that run in the third inning. A double play was happening in the process of it, as Merrill was coming from third to home. Devers scooped the ball at first on the bag to retire Xander Bogaerts, and then threw to second base as Campusano slid into the tag of Willy Adames on what became a tag play at second. Merrill was touching home just ahead of that tag, making that run count to end the third inning.
Doing the little things to win ball games, always important. And if you're a championship caliber clubhouse, that's consistent.
Well, the win tonight, the Padres would only be 1 game behind the Phillies for the third wild card spot in the National League. Arizona was a winner tonight. They're 2 ahead of the Padres entering today's play, and would stay that way if San Diego does hold on here to this now big lead. Two balls, 2 strikes on Merrill.
A.J. Preller definitely cooking up a plan as he sees his offense show more life down the stretch.
3-2 on Merrill now, and yeah, I would say so. Once this team got their stars going, which they have, felt like they could be a contender again. And now they need to fix the issues that have arisen with their starting rotation, dealing with a lot of injuries this year. It's a foul tip held onto by Kavanaugh for strike 3. Here's Merrill scoring that run in the third inning on this double play ball hit into by Bogaerts.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a cue shot, forcing Devers to tag that base once he's able to control that baseball. But the whole time, Merrill's hustling to tag home plate.
So Merrill about a half step or so in front of that tag, making that run count. Not a play that stands out as much in a 7-0 game, but at the time the lead went from 2-0 to 3-0. Been a good night for Campusano, 3 for 3.
Campusano's been, you want to talk about a quality of bat every single time. He has done that. So this bottom of the lineup has really come to life. It's been feeling like Manny and Tatis Jr. been hitting every single inning. It's like kickball in the third grade. He kicking out of order.
Campusano was on the injured list for a while, but since coming back, he's hit .333 now in 18 games. So he's been productive. Lifts this one toward left center field. Moves Ramos over to retire the side. San Diego tacks on another, a big lead against the Giants.
Welcome back to San Diego. Here's another look from our Goodyear drone cram. We've talked about Ron Washington's impact on this Giants roster. He's also working with Bryce Eldridge, who didn't really have a position coming into the season. He was drafted as a two-way player. The Giants wanted him to scrap pitching right away to focus on hitting, but he's also been working on his defense at first base, and Tony Vitello said he has made huge strides. Eldridge told me his daily repetition with Washington has been huge to get him to not even think about his defense and just react naturally, guys.
Wish Wash would teach me a little defense. Get the glove out there and catch some grounders at Wash.
Man, you be first team all Windy City at St. Charles. Man, I can see it. I can see that. Very important though, and sometimes those coaching staffs get overlooked, but like we talked about early in the ball game, Ron Washington's a legend. But, you know, for Bryce, you know, they're basically telling you as an organization, hey, this is your position. We're going to give you chances to fail, but we also don't want to take away from your offensive capability. And so now that it seems like the league has got a book out on him, now he's starting to learn how to adjust and really get the book out on the league on how they're trying to attack him thus far.
21 years old, Eldridge down on strikes to start this 7th inning. Tony Vitello said really that he believes Eldridge is going to be that type of left-handed first baseman in the middle of the lineup, in the way guys like Nick Kurtz and Matt Olson and Freddie Freeman are. It's a lot of pressure maybe to put on. It's a big ceiling, but Tony Vitello believes that's who Bryce Eldridge is bound to be.
Well, he definitely has the power.
1 ball, 1 strike on Rafael Devers, 0 for 2, and a big foul back.
Devers had a couple good swings today. It seemed like he's just missing the ball.
22 homers on the year. Took almost 2 decades for a Giant to reach 30 again after Barry Bonds retired. Willie Adames hit 30 last year, cinched it on the final weekend of the season. There's Adames who might hit 30 himself again this year, but Devers has 22 to lead the way for the Giants. And would certainly be the first left-handed batter since Bonds to hit 30 home runs in that uniform. Bonds last did it in 2004. That was the year he walked 232 times. Here's a walk for Devers. New team, new characters, same Ted. The 2-time Emmy-winning comedy returns for a new season, with Ted taking on his biggest challenge yet, coaching a 2nd Division women's football team. Don't miss Ted Lasso Season 4, streaming August 5th on Apple TV. Heard they kept going with Ted Lasso so that they could try to catch you in the Emmy department.
Watch out. Long road ahead.
Strike 1 to Jung-Hoo Lee. Barry Bonds, an incredible career that he had. A lot of it in a Giants uniform as Lee hits a ground ball towards short, picked by Bogarts, who gets it to second base for the force out. Devers is retired there. But it was Jeff Kent going into Cooperstown, a former MVP as a Giant as well, and really forming that 1-2 punch with Bonds over the years in San Francisco. Elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame on the Veterans Committee, and made a nice speech last Sunday in Cooperstown and going into the Hall of Fame with Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran, who also played for the Giants.
You know what's cool, especially that, you know, still being able to cover the game. Now guys that I played against are starting to be nominated and really getting to Cooperstown. And Jeff Kent was a problem for a very long time, even when he got out of a Giants uniform. He had some really good years for the Dodgers as well.
Pop out for Adames as he fouls out to France, and that ends the top of the 7th. They're going to strike up the mariachi band for the 7th inning stretch.
Jackson, what's up, brother?
Oh, that sounded lovely, the 7th inning stretch here at Petco Park tonight. Padres have a 7-0 lead against the Giants. They've been all over the Giants tonight since the very get-go here. New second baseman is in the game for the Giants, so Slavis Basabe takes over for Luis Arraez. And well, you got to look at the dugout to see if Arraez is hugging anybody right now, considering his name is very much out there in regard to the possibility of being traded.
Right in the middle of our manager meeting with Tony Vitello, he kind of took that phone in front of him. He said, this might be important. That's that time of year.
Yeah, he did think that the possibility that a trade had come through was there when we were talking to Tony earlier. There was no trade then, and I don't know if there is now, but Rise is out of the game as Basabe goes in at second base. But you just think about it a little differently when a guy comes out of a 7-0 game. You know, normally a player like Rise might come out of a game like this. There's a liner off the glove of Poss and a base hit for Bogaerts. Just because of the score, but a little different tenor when you have the trade deadline looming over it.
Especially when you know a guy like that has a chance to win a batting title. He's going to be sought after a lot of ball clubs to add depth to their lineup, especially at the top. But Bogaerts finally squaring one up. He knew that Hauser was trying to get that sinker, and he beat him to the spot.
So base hit for Bogaerts brings up Freddie Fermin. Earlier today, the Mets scratched Freddie Peralta from a start. The Tigers scratched Casey Mize from a start this weekend. Two guys that are free agents after the season that could very well be dealt from teams that are not close enough in the postseason race to be considered anything but sellers right now in both the Mets and the Tigers cases. Detroit tried to convince everybody for a while that they had enough to make it or make a run, but they just haven't put together the type of ball they needed to here since the All-Star break to really convince themselves. Back to the mound. Hauser to second base for one. Basabe to first for the double play. Let's go to Sierra Santos in our studio.
Hey guys, let's take you up the road to LA. Dodgers trailing 3-2 to the Red Sox. Shohei Ohtani puts the Dodgers back on top with a 2-run blast in the bottom of the 5th. Wayne, D-Train, let's get it back to you.
Ooh, lefty on lefty cement mixer to Shohei. You're not getting that baseball back. No, 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 no.
2 out, nobody on. The knee looked pretty good there.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let people know what neighborhood you're from. Uh-oh, might be our first one, Wayne.
Oh, I thought on the camera.
I had you too, Weezy. You know me. You know, my errors were throwing errors. You got good internet. They weren't. I catch the ball. I might throw it away, but I catch it.
Well, the internet says it was 73 miles an hour.
Oh, no, see, why you got to do me like that, man? See, you always.
Plus a carom.
See.
Fly to center field as McRae backs up and grabs that one. Yeah, you would have had it, I think.
I'm on it, Weezy. I'm focused, baby.
Look at you, ready to go. Make a play, D-Train.
Look, already one pelota in one hand. I would have caught the left one, easy money. You would have owed me a steak dinner.
Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV presented by Goodyear. 7-0. The Padres are all over the Giants tonight. San Francisco held to just 2 hits against 3 Padre pitchers. Bradley Rodriguez worked the first inning. Yuki Matsui the next 3. And it's been German Marquez ever since the 5th inning. He's allowed just 1 hit in 3 innings. Marquez. Does this one go right by him in the bag? Bogaerts fields and throws for the out.
I mean, how many plays have we seen from the Padre defense today that difficulty 9.5 and they made it look casual? You knew, especially once that baseball got over the mound, you knew it was going to hit the bag. You don't know which way it's going to hop. Not breaking under pressure. Bogaerts has done that for a very long time.
1 out. Here's Cavanaugh taking ball 1. Marquez has always struggled against the Giants. Remember, he was with the Rockies for a number of years. A 7.20 career ERA against San Francisco. In his last 11 starts, a 9.19 ERA, but he's mowed him down here tonight.
With 20 home runs allowed, this against one team. But it helps to be able to come in here and pitch in the lead, and also to. You talk about Craig's name, and it is important for everybody to pitch well because now you can deploy him in a favorable matchup, so it gets him be able to be settled, the bottom of the lineup, really get command and confidence in his stuff to roll over the lineup and be able to throw strikes.
It's possible he finishes this game. If he does, he would collect his first major league save. Even though he would have pitched the last 5 innings, that would still qualify as a save. He pitched the last 3 innings or more of a game after entering with the lead. Funny rule, but it's still a rule. We follow the rules here. You and me both.
You tell him, Weezy.
3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Marquez with his second strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, there's Benny Santiago, including how to find a league near you. Scan the QR code or go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Jack Clark, one of the great sluggers of his era, and of course the incredible Willie McCovey, a Hall of Famer and a longtime member of the Giants.
Covey Cove had a draft workout, pre-draft workout. I had to hit a couple balls in the Covey Cove. So let's see with that TPX. You remember that, Wayne? You remember that? Nice catch.
For me, makes the play in foul ground, and that finishes another 1-2-3 inning from the Padre pitching staff tonight. 8 shutout innings, just 2 hits allowed, and some good defense along the way. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
My guy, Jake Peavy. That's my guy.
Fly ball to left center. It's Tatis hitting it to the new left fielder, Drew Gilbert. He makes that catch, 1 out. Elliot Ramos also out of the game here with this lopsided score. We're assuming it's just because of the score and nothing else cooking from Buster Posey and the Giants. Trade deadline not far away now, just a few more days.
Situation like this and the way their offense is going quietly, sometimes you just got to wave the white flag. Live to fight another day. They won the ball game last night.
So if these guys are real targets for the trade deadline, and you assume certainly arises, well, no reason to leave them out there with a couple innings here in a game that's out of hand.
Yeah, Ramos as well, because of how much he has in team control. I believe they have team control to 2029, and so that's why he's so valuable.
And also, right-handed hitting outfielders have basically disappeared.
Yes.
Or you look around the game, and there are very few really good right-handed hitting outfielders, especially for teams that need them. There are few available, and Ramos is one of them. Here's Rengifo bouncing out 2 up, 2 down.
You know who could use one is the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah. Joe Adell's name gets kicked around there. Taylor Ward, Luis Robert, Tyrone Taylor's had a really good month. I mean, look at Ward. He's a free agent after this year. A guy who has power, usually at least. This year he has not hit for much. Adell has power and hits lefties well. You know, Robert has all the talent in the world, but has never really been able to stay healthy. It could certainly help a team for 2 months. A strike to Machado. So it'll be interesting to see, but those are the types of names being kicked around because right-handed hitting outfielders that can hit well are few and far between right now. The ball's 2 strikes on Machado. Machado with a double his last time. He has an RBI tonight as well. And a quick inning for Hauser sends us to the 9th in this 7-run game. It's our best Goodyear drone cam tonight, and doesn't get any better than this overlooking downtown San Diego.
Beautiful. Gotta let me know who your realtor is out here, Wayne. See, it's in the penthouse living.
It's a perfect place. America's finest city, San Diego, California, and the Padres Having a near perfect night. They lead the Giants 7-0. San Francisco has not had a man in scoring position in this game.
Yeah, what's the lead? And really that third run by Jackson Merrill really just took the momentum and really the air out of the Giants' sails. But this Padre team is fun to watch, especially now they're starting to hit up and down the lineup. You see the defense from not only the outfielders but the infielders as well. And Craig Stammen deploying the right guys today to really shut their offense down.
This will be a 6th win in 7 games for the Padres, and this is around the time of year where they really need to start taking off. The offense has performed better. Will they get the pitching reinforcements to help out? Here's Bogart surrounding that, and off balance as he throws out the runner at first, Basabe. As the Friar rings the bell for the first out here at the top of the 9th.
Goes to his right. The transfer to the throwing. The arm strength you've seen from Bogarts and Machado. Two of the best to do it.
Padres have really played first-class defense along the way as well tonight.
Hey!
There's the Friar, looking good.
I like those city connects.
The Friar gave us a nice clean shave tonight too to get ready for Friday Night Baseball.
Always got it. It's Friday Night Baseball, man. No one has a clearer game than we do.
He's ready to ring the bell. German Marquez looking for his first major league save. It would be a 5-inning save. First Padre to have even a 3+ inning save since Nick Martinez back in 2022.
Excellent job by Firmino, just from the game calling from Marquez. I feel like they've been on the same page, being efficient. And Marquez doing an excellent job of not only just working the fastball, but occasionally throwing that breaking ball to slow down the hitter as well.
Marquez going 4 1/3 tonight. This will be the first time that he's pitched this long in a game in quite a while. Since coming back from the injured list, he has not had many outings go even past 4 innings, but he's into a 5th inning right here. Almost got strike 3, but Gilbert held his swing. Jesus Rodriguez on deck would bat for Eldridge. These two teams will play again tomorrow with Walker Buehler pitching for the Padres, and for the Giants another trade candidate, Tyler Mahle, the veteran, on the mound. Although Robbie Ray will be much more sought after from the Giants starting pitching group. Ray's pitched really well over the last couple of months.
Yeah, he's been absolutely excellent, especially that deceptive turn. The velocities there, and really him being able to compete within the strike zone has been critical for him.
There's 3-2 now on Gilbert. Marquez had a forearm injury earlier in the year, missed a couple of months. It's Gilbert to lift a fly ball to right center. That's Fernando Tatis Jr. for the 2nd out. German Marquez was a Silver Slugger winner in the National League. A pretty good hitter back when that was still a thing. Pitchers used to hit. Didn't have your numbers though.
Cold-blooded. That's all right though. I was in that class with the Zambranos. You know, that was a generation where you had to handle the bat to be able to stay in that ball game. But I'm a lot of things. A hater ain't one of them, Marquez.
Now, the year he won the Silver Slugger, he only had 5 RBIs. You could do that in a game.
That's easy money. That's light work. That's lunch portion.
He had 300 that year. Yeah, he had 1 home run, 5 RBIs. That's nothing.
It's all good. Timing's everything. It's all good. Timing's everything.
Well, the year that you hit for the most power, you didn't hit for a high average. That might have cost you that.
Whoa, hold on. What was the average?
170.
Oh no, I must have been sick.
But you had 10 RBIs. Now, in 2005, you had 260. You had a home run and 11 RBIs that year. In 2007, he had 286.
Wait, haven't you seen my movies?
7 extra base hits then.
Haven't you seen them?
Just want to know who was winning those Silver Sluggers then.
You know, Leon Hernandez maybe. Oh man, who's the guy in Colorado? Michael Owens. Michael Owens.
Michael Owens.
He was all world. It's just a tough draw, man. You know.
I understand.
It's all good. I didn't feel like I didn't have a Silver Slugger when I got in that box because I've been knocked down and backdoor slider to death and all that good stuff. So
you got the Rookie of the Year.
I forgot about that.
Hey!
Well, the Giants want to challenge this last one.
Right. Batter's challenging.
Rodriguez doesn't want to hear the bell yet.
You might hear it though.
Yeah, he's going to hear it.
Oh!
Not going to hear it.
San Francisco has 2 remaining challenges.
Great challenge.
You think so?
Terrible. The gas lamp will be there, Wayne. Don't worry.
It will. And Jesus Rodriguez takes ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez in place of Eldridge here in a 7-0 Padre lead. This entire game, the Giants have gone without a man in scoring position tonight. It's a full count now.
3-2.
The Padres, every win important to stack up right now. They'd be within a game of Philly for the 3rd wild card spot, 2 games of Arizona for the 2nd. Rodriguez fouls one off. Let's see, 2005, Jason Marquis.
Yeah, he was excellent. That's my guy. Excellent.
2006, Zambrano had 6 home runs. Mike Owings at .333 with 4 homers and 15 RBIs in 07.
Listen, he pitched it against me in 07 and fouled the ball straight back. I had to touch that rosin and something else. That we could cheat.
Here's a fly to right. We'll see if it stays in play. It does. Tatis grabs it. That was a little bit of a plie there at the end. And the San Diego Padres smooth tonight as the Friar rings the bell, shows you where he's from. 7-0. They wallop the San Francisco Giants here at Petco Park.
Yeah, Wayne, this was a one-sided affair. I love what I saw from the pitching staff, especially the way that Craig Stammen deployed the right guys, that they had the momentum. Also offensively from start to finish, I thought the quality of bats were there up and down the lineup, and they continued to put pressure on the Giants pitching staff. But this is a team that's feeling good about themselves right now. They feel like if they add some pitching, especially in that rotation, as well as getting some key guys back in that rotation, they have a chance to get into that postseason and do some damage.
Now they're right there, just a game out of that last wild card spot. Padres pitchers tonight, 3 of them, Bradley Rodriguez, Yuki Matsui, German Marquez are players of the game, brought to you by PNC Bank. Rodriguez with a perfect first. Matsui was excellent in his 3 innings, and Marquez went the final 5.
I'm not going to lie to you, Wayne. I wish I could have saw more of Rodriguez. I love the command and the mound presence of that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but Marquez really just stepped up. Being able to tunnel that breaking ball off that straight fastball, and he had a little tailing action as well with that changeup. He was absolutely excellent, and now that sets up Craig Stammen not having to deploy his whole bullpen behind Walker Buehler tomorrow.
And the Padres a game back in the wild card race in front of the 43rd sellout of the year at Petco Park. Jace Bowen in his first major league home run. He's standing by with Heidi Watney.
Jace, your first major league home run, and you channeled your inner Manny Machado rounding the bases. What was that moment like?
It's probably the second best moment I've ever had in my life. Just worked so hard to get there, and so thankful for God to let it happen.
Now, your first hit ball went to your dad's barber shop. Is this one going to join it?
It's going to go right next to it.
All right, sounds good. The offense has really taken up, since your call-up. What have you noticed about this group offensively? Another 12 hits here tonight.
I think we're working hard every day. The coaching staff has been great. Great reports. We're just trying to do our best to get to October and make a splash.
2 months in the big leagues. What's the biggest thing you've learned?
Just to continue to work hard every day. That's it. It's come and go. But to be positive, be good energy, and be a great teammate.
You get to work alongside some of the best in the outfield in Tatis and Jackson Merrill. What have you learned from them?
Just watching them work and how great they've been. And, they really go out there and work hard every day. And I just try to do the same and get my reps in and just try to stay ready.
Thanks, Jace. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Memorable night for Jace Bowen. His first big league homer comes in part of a 7-0 win for the San Diego Padres here at Petco Park. Well, pitch game. The Giants never had a man in scoring position. The Padres get an important win. We'll be back to wrap it up.